Dear students, a warm welcome. In the last presentation, we learnt about milestones in church history. In the present one, we will go through the church history and important events in Malankara Church. We need to know our Christian tradition, the events which shaped the Indian Orthodox Church, and the way Malankara Church traversed into its present form of the Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church. For this purpose, we will try to understand Malankara Church history of 20 centuries very briefly. Our church fathers faced a lot of difficulties during the 2 millennia to maintain its autocephalous status. I think you know what autocephalous is. It is total canonical and administrative independence, and one can elect the one's own primates and bishops. Now, let us examine the important events in Malankara Church one by one. Kerala is one of the lands where Christianity came in the early ages. Saint Thomas, disciple of Jesus Christ, after the resurrection of Jesus, traveled to India and reached Kerala in AD 52. My dear students, when we scrutinize the history, we need to be truthful. There are two traditions regarding the visit of Saint Thomas to India. One, the South Indian tradition, and two, the North Indian tradition. As far as South Indian tradition is concerned, we have concrete evidences to support Saint Thomas founded the church in Malankara, such as the tomb of Saint Thomas, historical documents regarding the activities of the apostle, Christian witnesses in the oral and literal traditions, and a lot more. Dear students, there is a North Indian tradition also regarding visit of Saint Thomas to North India and adjoining countries. The activities of Judas Thomas, written between AD 180 and AD 230, states that Apostle Saint Thomas propagated gospel message in the country of Gondopharos. Coins issued in the name of Gondopharos, who ruled over lands adjoining Afghanistan, Baluchistan, and Punjab in the 1st century AD, have been found. Gregorius Bar Ebraya, 13th century author, in a book titled Church History, says that Saint Thomas preached the gospel there. Dear young friends, many cultures and visitors from various parts of the globe influenced the Malankara Church. No doubt, Persian immigration is one of them. Both Malankara and Persian churches preserve and take pride in the apostolic tradition and heritage of Saint Thomas. The first Persian immigration took place in AD 345 under the leadership of Thomas of Cana, and the second immigration took place in AD 825 under the leadership of Sabrisho. To some extent, it has helped in enriching the church life of Malankara Church and in fulfilling its spiritual needs. The Portuguese, who were Roman Catholics, under the leadership of Vasco da Gama, came to Malankara for commerce at the end of 15th century, precisely in the year 1498. They started influencing the indigenous Malankara Nasranis of Kerala in many ways. They used money, material comforts, and often threats to the priest to bring the ancient church under their control. The Synod of Udayamperur, held in June 1599, was such an incident and the ploy to legitimize their nefarious plan. Archbishop of Goa, Alexis de Mendes, who controlled the proceedings of the Synod, took unilateral decisions. Malankara Nasranis were persuaded to sign a resolution that they are accepting Pope as their pontiff. Gradually, The Portuguese destroyed the manuscripts of Malankara Christians, ignored the ritual customs, and destroyed the indigenous churches. My dear students, Conan Cross oath was one of the turning points for Christians in India. It goes like this. St. Thomas Christians assembled at Mattanjeri Island near current Kochi on January 3rd, 1653, after 54 years of Synod of Udayamperur. They protested the Portuguese authority and wanted to maintain the tradition of their culture. They planted a stone cross and took oath to protect the culture of original St. Thomas Christians. Touching the cross, and those who can't directly touch held a rope which was bound to the cross so that many people can take part in the oath. Those who gathered at oath proclaimed, please note, dear students, we or our children and their children to all generations to come will have nothing to do with the Roman Catholic Church or the Pope of Rome from now on. The oath of Conan Cruz was a great attempt to conserve the independence and identity of Malankara Church and revive its lost heritage and traditions. On May 22nd, 1653, 4 months after the Conan Cross oath, an assembly was held in Alangatu Church. 12 priests jointly anointed Archdeacon Thoma as Episcopal at this assembly. Marthoma, first anointed in this manner, was the first prelate of the Indian Church in the Episcopal cadre. Moreover, Bishop Mar Gregorius of Jerusalem, who arrived in Malankara in 1665, legitimized the consecration of Marthoma I. The Malankara Church, which had to depend on foreign metropolitans for all spiritual needs, realized that an indigenous episcopate was essential for its comprehensive development and laid its foundation. Marthoma I is the first non-episcopal of the Indian Church. You know, students, history has its own path, twists and turns. After the development of Conan Cross oath, Roman Church sent its Carmelite missionaries Hyacinth and Joseph Sebastiani as mediators to placate Malankara Church. The mediators succeeded in their mission. Majority of the people and parishes under Marthoma I deserted their prelate in favor of Roman faith, including two of the four major priests elected to assist Marthoma I. The interference of the Catholic Church led Malankara Church into power tussles and further divisions. Please go through the chart given alongside on this side. We can see the year in which division took place and the names of the new factions. We will learn how far the divisions happened. The consecration of Marthoma I and the dissensions regarding his episcopacy led Malankara Church into new relationships. Mar Gregorius of Jerusalem, who reached Malankara in 1665, led Malankara Church into its relationship with Antioch. It is the arrival of Mar Gregorius in the 17th century and the legitimization of episcopate in Malankara that led to the relationship between Malankara and Antioch. Even though this relationship helped to sustain the Syrian tradition of the Malankara Church, it led to decisive changes in faith and rituals. When the relationship with the Catholic Church caused two divisions, including Malankara Rite in Malankara Church, the relationship with Church of Antioch shattered the Malankara Church to pieces. Thuriyur Sabha, you know where Thuriyur is? It is in Trichy district, Kerala. And Jacobite factions originated as a result of the relationship of the Malankara Church with the Patriarch of Antioch. During the rule of British Resident Colonel Macaulay, Marthoma VII deposited 3,000 star pagodas equivalent to rupees 10,500 with the British East India Company at a rate of 8% interest per annum. Out of these 3,000 star pagodas, 840 star pagodas were collected by Mar Dionysius from the community, and the rest 2,160 were got from his cooperation with Macaulay. The first annual interest of the deposit was received by Marthoma VII, and the interest for the 3 succeeding years was received by Pulikottil Itu Pramban. The interest on this deposit was utilized for the daily expenses of the seminary till 1836. Thereafter, a dispute arose with the patriarchal faction regarding who is entitled to receive the interest, and this dispute came to be known as Vattipanam suit. For your knowledge, students, the word Vatti came from Kannada, that is Vaddi, which means interest, that is interest money. Vattipanam. Dear students, we read the Holy Bible every day. Have you ever thought the effort and commitment behind publishing the Holy Bible in various languages and also its printing? The Holy Bible used in Malankara till the first decade of the 19th century was the Syriac translation of the Bible. It was in 1811 that the Malayalam translation of the 4 Gospels became popular in Malayalam. It is believed that Ramban Philippos of Kayamkulam and Ramban Joseph of Pulikottil played an important role in the translation of the Malayalam Bible. This translation known as, Ramban Bible, and this was published from Mumbai in 1811. Benjamin Bailey, Thomas Norton and Herman Gundert deserve special mention in the publication of Malayalam Bible. I am sure all of you know about Old Seminary at Kottayam. Joseph Mar Dionysius II of Pulikottil founded this priesthood training center known as Old Seminary at Kottayam in 1815. It is the first Orthodox Christian school of theology in Asia. Dear students, it was a proud moment for all of us when Sri Pranab Mukherjee, President of India, in the year 2015 released a postage stamp commemorating the 200 years of Old Seminary. Malankara Church maintained cordial relationship with the CMS missionaries right from the beginning of the 19th century. The expansion of CMS, I think you know it, all right. It is Church Mission Society. Along with their evangelical mission, the missionaries tried to implement reformist ideas in the Malankara Church. They wanted to alter the liturgy and rituals of the Malankara Church in order to attune them with those of theirs. As a result, there arose 2 factions within Malankara Church, those who supported and those who opposed Reformation. In order to decide whether the church should accept or reject the reformist ideas, a church assembly was held in 1836 at Mavelikara. This assembly decided to reject reformist ideas altogether. The resolution taken in this regard in the assembly is known as Mavelikara Padiola. Moving on to next slide. As the differences with the missionaries heightened and a compromise became impossible on 24 April 1840, a committee having 3 Europeans and Malankara Church representatives met at Kochi. Old Seminary and its properties and Vattipanam were given to the Syrian Church. On the other hand, CMS College Kottayam and its surroundings, Rs 20,000 got from the government and Monroe Island were given to the missionaries. Later, Abraham Alpan and others tried to implement reformist ideas in the church. As a result, those who supported Reformation continued to exist as a separate faction within the church and resulted in another division of the church subsequently. After the royal court judgment of 1889, the Reformist faction got separated from the Malankara church and founded a new church named Marthoma Church. Dear children, we are concluding after a little narration about the Synod of Malandirthi. Synod of Malandirthi is one of the important events in the history of Malankara Church. The Malankara Church brought Patriarch of Antioch to Malankara in order to defeat the Reformist faction in court cases. In an assembly of church representatives held at Malandirthi Church in June 1876, Patriarch Patros III insisted that Malankara Church should oblige in writing to surrender its independence and sovereignty to the Patriarch of Antioch. The decisions of the Synod helped in defeating the Reformist faction in court cases. But it is a sad truth of history that the Synod led to the surrender of the identity and freedom of the Church and to its subsequent divisions. We are concluding this presentation for now. Truth always triumphs. As a tail end, I would like to inform you on July 3, 2017, Supreme Court of India gave a judgment in favor of the Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church and declared it is the official Orthodox Church in India. Students, I am sure you can elucidate a brief church history right from the visit of Saint Thomas to India to the present period. You can also eliminate various reasons that led to convene the synods in different time period and its outcome. Thank you for your patient hearing. God bless us all.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.